So I know you're proud of your kids, the way they fight back, but that big third quarter for Stanford, that was kind of the telltale, wasn't it?
Yep, it was. They flexed their muscle in that third quarter, and we didn't. And that's 2 games in a row. UCLA did the same thing coming out of the locker room, went up 11 early, and then you're playing up to catch up the rest of the time. So I got to figure out why that's happening. But ultimately, I was really proud of our team. I truly was. I thought we battled these guys all the way to the end. And I think we learned a lesson. If we would have played this hard against UCLA last week, we win double figures. And so at least as far as I'm concerned, we learned a lesson. And now we've just got to figure out how we take it next level and beat these teams. But today was a good opportunity.
Kelly, I agree with you. I think your kids took it on the chin in that third quarter pretty hard by a #1 team, but battled back in the fourth quarter and just really stood up to them defensively and got stops and converted them in whatever way they could. And certainly Sydney Parrish was big for you today and just kept her, kept some composure in those moments and gave you a big lift.
She did. I thought Sid played really well. She's been coming on for us, and I think she's put herself into a position to obviously play a lot more. And we had actually a lot of players kind of step up and play pretty well today. It was a play here and a play there, you guys. But hey, all that being said, yeah, proud and everything, but I'm disappointed we lost. Game we could have won. It's not often you get a chance to play the #1 team, and you want to make the most of them.
Niara Sabali, coach, with her third double-double. I know she missed some shots maybe you'd like to see her make, but 10 points, 11 rebounds, and I thought she battled pretty hard in there.
She did. Yeah, she did. She, again, left a few on the court that I'm sure she'd like to have back, but she was feeling under the weather today, too. That's why she had to leave there for a little bit. But I credit her for really kind of pushing through it. She did a good job there.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go. Thanks for the visit, and we'll talk to you from Berkeley.
Okay, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, Coach, we're going to start with Andrew Hopler, Kezi.
Kelly, I know, you end up in close games like this and you want to be on the other side of them, but I mean, looking at what you were talking about with this team last year, you knew everything that you were replacing. I mean, is this team being this competitive in games against teams like UCLA and Stanford, are they a bit ahead of schedule relative to how young a lot of the core of this team is and a lot of the kids that played down the stretch?
Well, I don't know where we were. I don't know what the schedule was, where we should have been. But, I can only speak to what we did today. And, I'm disappointed, quite frankly. I mean, I'm happy I'm proud of the players for how we continued to battle. But at the same time, I'm disappointed we lost the game. We've won this conference 3 times in a row. We expect to win. But I am proud. This is a good learning experience. I don't think anybody had us coming in here and beating these guys. And, but, how can we give up 28 points in the third quarter, Andrew, and 10 in the fourth? You can't have our effort and our execution can't fluctuate like that. We've got to be more consistent in our effort. And, but listen, I'm happy where we're at. I am. This is the #1 team in the country. So we can't forget that.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Coach, you had opportunities down the stretch there, missed a couple of shots from 3. I think that maybe you would have liked to, I don't know. You tell me, and then the 9 hours travel. How do you feel offensively you guys executed down the stretch? Was it better than how you placed, I guess, down the stretch against UCLA?
Yeah, I think so. I thought defensively we played with more urgency down the stretch as well. We've done that actually both games, quite frankly, but yeah, we had some pretty good looks. I thought we had good looks early in the game as well, and we just weren't making them. But I'm pleased with the execution. I mean, I don't like 15 turnovers, a little high for us, but that wasn't where the game was lost. We forced 17 Stanford turnovers. Not many teams do that. We had 12 steals on Stanford. Not many teams do that. They're a plus 16 something on the boards, and we were up in the boards at halftime, ended up losing that battle by 2. So there's some good things to look at here. just timely shots and making us stop here. And then that third quarter ultimately was what doomed us.
Ryan Thorburn, register guard.
Kelly, their big run came shortly after Boley's fourth foul. How
Yep.
big of a factor was that in the game, just her being in foul trouble all game?
Well, it was big. And it was funny. A couple of those fouls were, it just kind of out of character, and I don't kind of loose ball, kind of freak play fouls. And that's what what is disappointing. If you got 5 fouls, man, make them count, But yeah, I think that hurt us. We're trying to beat the best team in the land, and they're legitimately the number 1 team with very little senior leadership on the court, upper class leadership. I thought Taylor really came in and played well for us today, Taylor Chavez. I think we really missed her against UCLA last week. So it's good to have her back because she gives us some toughness and leadership.
Jerry Thompson, Ducks Illustrated.
Yeah, tough loss, Coach. I hate to bring it up again, but we have at home here, we have the opportunity to review 2 or 3 times. I did the plays. Some of these, I know you can't comment. These calls were brutal on Boley especially. I mean, she didn't touch the people hardly from when you're looking at it. But anyway, they called 2 fouls. So a question here: they called 2 fouls when they set a screen and then start rolling. That's where are they calling that a moving screen when she's rolling?
Well, they did on this one. And, credit Stanford. Those kids know how to use, that was, I think Anna Wilson was the one that was caught in that screen. And I think she does a good job of selling the call. And, I thought there were some things. It obviously didn't go our way in some of those calls, but you got to play through that stuff. I mean, that didn't win or lose the game, but we've just got to do better and play through that stuff and be more solid, I guess.
Back to Andrew.
Yeah, Kelly, Sydney Parrish, obviously, she had that little mini run late, and then she had the big 3, I believe, at the end of the first half there. I mean, what's her development just kind of grown into as a player, and what have these last few games against such high-quality opponents shown you about what she can do and what her ceiling can be?
I think she's a gamer. I think every time she's played, when she's been healthy, she's played well. I mean, she does a lot of things. So if you look, she, obviously she made some baskets, but she had 3 steals as well. So she's got length on the perimeter, gets her hands in passes, and she can. So she's a multiple player. Got a couple of rebounds as well. So she's coming. She's coming. And she's one of those players that maybe we get into the lineup here one of these days soon. We'll see. She certainly earned it and playing well. I think Maddie Shear, though, Andrew, is the one that hit that shot at the end of the half. And I thought Maddie did some good stuff tonight as well. I thought she was a little tentative offensively, but she's coming too.
Warren Williamson, Duck Football Juice.
Kelly, you've now played 2 of the best teams in the conference and in the country. And I'm just wondering your view about where your team is and how you think this team can stack up later in this season and how good they really are right now facing both those teams.
Well, I think we showed today that we're capable of playing with the best. Okay. Good portion of this game, we were the aggressors. And, I think we're going to be a tough out. We're going to continue to get better. So we talked last time when we had this about the learning experience. I think we learned something. We learned to compete harder and play harder, and every possession matters. And I thought we showed that tonight. So to me, that means we're growing. We'll continue to grow. Our players we're starting to settle on a lineup and a rotation. And I think they're starting to get more and more comfortable. I like where we're at, but you know what? We lost the game, so I'm disappointed. We got to now get better for Sunday and try to beat Cal, because then we got to go to the Arizonas next week. It doesn't get easier in this league, so we'll keep getting there. I'm confident.
I got time for a couple more, Coach.
Okay.
James Creppy of the Oregonian.
Kelly, you weren't in a lot of these close games late over the last couple of years. You had that luxury, and when you did, you had a really experienced point guard. It's not a matter of putting up one position, but just the offensive poise after these stops hasn't been there as much late these last 2 games. What can you do to correct that with a young team? I mean, you can't gain the experience until you gain the experience.
Yeah, you have to experience. You have to go through it. We have to get, the more you do this, the better you perform in them. So I thought we had some pretty good looks late. You may not like them. They may not have gone in, but I would take an open 3-pointer from Taylor Mikesell anytime. But yeah, we've got to figure it out. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, last one, back to Ryan Thoburn.
Kelly, do you have any kind of update on Sedona and what kind of difference could she make down the stretch in games like this?
Well, she's going to make a difference anytime she's in the game. Honestly, I'm not sure when she's coming back. She will be. She'll be back. I can't worry about the what ifs and who we didn't have. I just we got to go with what we have, and I think we have enough to be competitive. We just haven't closed out 2 games. It's unfortunate.